Dr. Veltar's 6 appendages trembled as she reviewed the genetic analysis for the 47th time. The Kethron xenobiologist had spent 3 standard cycles studying human DNA samples, cross-referencing them with the galactic archive of extinct civilizations. The results defied every principle of evolutionary biology she had learned in her 4 centuries of life. "This cannot be accurate," she whispered to her research partner, Quindal, whose phosphorescent tendrils pulsed with concern. "Run the quantum sequencing again." "I have run it 17 times, Dr. Veltar. The results remain unchanged." Quindal's melodious voice carried undertones of fear. "Humans possess dormant genetic sequences that match extinct war species across 4 different galactic epochs." The laboratory aboard the research vessel Harmony of Knowledge hummed with advanced analysis equipment, its bioluminescent panels casting an eerie glow over the collected data. Charts and holographic models filled the space, each one telling the same impossible story. "Show me the Chronathi comparison again," Dr. Veltar requested, her primary manipulator appendages dancing across the control interface. The holographic display materialized, showing 2 genetic sequences side by side. One belonged to the Chronathi, the legendary war gods who had nearly conquered the galaxy 12 million years ago before mysteriously vanishing. The other belonged to a human construction worker named David Martinez from the colony world of New Brisbane. 97% genetic compatibility in the warrior gene clusters, Quindal reported. The sequences for enhanced reflexes, tactical cognition, and combat hormones are identical. But in humans, they're sleeping. Dr. Veltar studied the data with growing unease. The Chronathi had been unstoppable in battle, capable of strategic thinking that bordered on precognition. They could process battlefield information at superhuman speeds and maintain focus under conditions that would drive other species insane. A single Chronathi warrior could defeat entire companies of conventional troops. "What about the Vex-High templates?" she asked. Another display activated, showing the genetic markers of the Vex-High, the species that had perfected warfare to such a degree that they had weaponized their own evolution. They had been extinct for 8 million years, victims of their own military perfection. 84% compatibility, Quindal replied. Humans carry dormant genes for battlefield adaptation, threat assessment, and what the Vex-High called victory imperative, the psychological inability to accept defeat. Dr. Veltar's research had begun as a routine biological survey of the newly contacted human species. What she had discovered instead was a genetic archaeology that traced back through the galaxy's most feared civilizations. Computer, display all war species genetic markers found in human DNA. The holographic space exploded with data streams. Dozens of extinct civilizations appeared in the display, each one a former galactic superpower that had dominated through military might before vanishing into history. The Shalguthri, masters of psychological warfare, genetic compatibility, 89%. The Mordeth collective specialists in multidimensional tactical thinking, genetic compatibility, 92%. The Eternal Legion of Kyros, infamous for their ability to fight without sleep, food, or water for extended periods. Genetic compatibility, 95%. The Drakemore Empire, known for treating entire star systems as single battlefields. Genetic compatibility, 88%. How is this possible? Dr. Veltar muttered, her appendages curling in distress. These species lived millions of years apart in different galactic regions. There's no way their genetic material could have. She stopped mid-sentence as a terrifying possibility occurred to her. Quindal, cross-reference human colonization patterns with archaeological sites of extinct war species homeworlds. The analysis took several minutes. When it completed, both scientists stood in stunned silence. Perfect correlation, Quindal whispered. Every human colony world was once inhabited by a different war species. Earth itself. His voice trailed off. Earth was the homeworld of the Urketh, Dr. Veltar finished. The first war gods. The species that began the cycle of galactic conquest 47 million years ago. The implications crashed over them like a quantum cascade. Humans weren't just another primitive species stumbling into galactic civilization. They were the inheritors of every major military civilization in galactic history, carrying the dormant genetic legacy of 47 million years of warfare evolution. But why are the genes dormant? Quindal asked. What keeps them from activating? Dr. Veltar manipulated the display, focusing on the regulatory sequences that kept the war genes suppressed. Peace, she said simply. Humans have lived in relative peace on Earth for centuries. Their wars have been amateur compared to galactic standards. The genes remain dormant because they've never faced an existential threat that requires their activation. And if they did face such a threat, Dr. Veltar studied the genetic triggers, the activation conditions that had awakened these same capabilities in dozens of previous civilizations. Then the galaxy would witness the rise of the most formidable war species in recorded history. Humans wouldn't just possess the military capabilities of one extinct civilization, they would possess the combined strategic knowledge of them all. A priority communication alert interrupted their discussion. The message bore the seal of the Galactic High Command. Dr. Veltar, came the urgent voice of Admiral Tethmaran. We've detected massive fleet movements from the Devourer swarm in the Andromeda approaches. They're heading for Sol System. All research vessels are ordered to evacuate the human colonies immediately. Dr. Veltar looked at Quindal, then at the genetic data still floating around them. The Devourer swarm an extragalactic force that consumed entire civilizations. They had chosen humanity as their next target, apparently seeing them as easy prey. Admiral, Dr. Veltar said slowly, I recommend you delay the evacuation order. Doctor, there are 8 billion humans on those worlds. The swarm will awaken something that has been sleeping for 47 million years, Dr. Veltar interrupted. And for the first time in galactic history, I believe the Devourers are about to become the Devoured. As the communication ended, she watched the human genetic sequences on her displays. Deep within the dormant code, she could almost sense something stirring ancient knowledge awakening. Tactical minds that had once conquered galaxies, beginning to remember what they truly were. The humans were about to discover they weren't just another species. They were the descendants of every war god the galaxy had ever feared. And their long sleep was finally coming to an end.